Hi, this is my discussion for Chapter 13. I'll be answering questions 2 and 3, and then also 4. Question 2 asks to differentiate between glass ceilings and the labyrinth. The text states that a glass ceiling is an unbreachable barrier that prevents members of various outgroups from rising to upper levels of organizational leadership. And this is kind of like the old school take on it. The newer version is the labyrinth, which the text says, the labyrinth metaphor captures the varied challenges confronting women as they travel, often on indirect paths, sometimes through alien territory on their way to leadership. So I guess the differences are the glass ceiling is implying that women have like equal access to entry-level positions, which isn't the case. And it's saying that they're really only coming upon obstacles when they're almost to the top of, the next level. When in reality, there's, from the moment women or other outgroups enter the workforce, they're confronted with all sorts of obstacles and challenges along the way, which is where the labyrinth comes in. It's seen more as a puzzle with twists and turns and lots of options, I guess. And then also to tie it to something outside of the text, I found an article. It's a little bit older. It's from 2019. Outback Steakhouse was sued for $19 million and what they were calling the glass ceiling suit. So part of this article reads, Outback discriminated against its female employees with respect to their terms and conditions of employment and denied women equal opportunities for advancement. Female employees could not get promoted to the higher level profit sharing management positions in the restaurants, and women were denied favorable job assignments, particularly kitchen management experience, which was required for employees to be considered for the top management job in the restaurants. So I think this definitely ties right into glass ceilings and the labyrinth. Outback was purposely preventing women from reaching the upper levels of management directly by just not letting them move up, and also by not giving them the positions that were necessary to get into the position to move up. So there was like a literal glass ceiling, and then there was also a labyrinth too. I guess if you would look at all of the obstacles the women were going through just to get to the glass ceiling, not just, I guess, the glass ceiling itself. Question 3 is, what is the relationship between organizational justice and retaliatory behavior? Okay, so the social exchange theory is basically stating that there's an exchange between individuals wanting to make sure that the rewards are worth the cost. Basically, like when you're looking at it from a workplace perspective, it's like, is everything you're getting from the job worth staying at the job? Is all the costs worth all the benefits? And so then the 3 types of organizational justice, there's distributive, procedural, and interactional. And those are all looking at different ways that individuals are gauging the fairness of their workplace. And distributive, it's it's looking at, you know, if everyone's getting paid the same for the same job, or if somebody's doing less work, if they're getting paid the same or more than someone who's doing more than them. The procedural justice is looking at the processes within the organization and the decision making, and seeing if they are fair and equal across the board. And the interactional justice is looking at how people are treated, if what am I trying to say? If the way that all the interactions are within the organization are fair and equal, you know, so someone's not getting, you know, preferential treatment or whatnot. And so with that, the organizational justice is basically looking at if everything's fair. And on the flip side of that, when things aren't fair, us as humans tend to retaliate in some way or another, either through our behaviors, our actions, our communication. There's lots of ways we can retaliate. So the way the relationship between them is, when things are unjust, it tends to cause people to retaliate. I think we could all probably relate to this in our own experiences. I know I can. There's been, you know, several times when a coworker, you know, when we have the same position, we're getting paid the same hourly or whatnot. When they're not doing what they're supposed to, or they're slacking on the job, and then, you know, if I have to pick up their slack but they're still getting paid the same, that would make me maybe want to retaliate in a way by, I don't know, I could retaliate against them personally, I could retaliate against the organization. I mean, that's just one example. But I think that we've all seen injustices in the workplace, and the retaliation of individuals in response to those injustices. And for question 4, I think one of the most important topics in this chapter, even though there were a lot of important topics, would be page 394, and the topic of non-EEOC protected discrimination. I think this this could take up a whole chapter in itself, I think. I could go on and on and on about this, but I think as a country, as a society, there shouldn't be any sort of discrimination allowed. The book specifically talks about heterosexism, which is a system of attitudes, beliefs, and biases against bisexual, gay, lesbian, transgender, transsexual, and queer identifying individuals in favor of opposite sex relationships and sexuality. For me, this hits home. My stepson is transgender, and knowing the discrimination that he faces daily in the workplace, not only that, but legally in the workplace, is it's kind of disgusting, and it's sad, and hopefully we can make progress in the future to move past that. And so hopefully the federal government will come to protect these individuals here in the near future. Okay, that is it for the discussion. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.